A lot of people spend time on their budgets trying to save £3, £5 on coffee. I get it. I get confectionery. Like, if you do not need it, then please stay away. It is good. I actually educate on that level. If you don't need it, take it out. But a cup of coffee, £3, £5, it isn't gonna make you rich, and it isn't gonna also take you 1,000 steps back. All right. Now, this is one of the biggest financial mistakes people make. That is you buying more house. I'm talking about you buying more home than you actually need. What do I mean? I'm not talking about you buying 10 homes at a time. I'm not talking about you going on the property ladder. Oh, that green is beautiful. I love it. Yeah. And buying 10 houses at the same time. I'm talking about you buying a property that you actually do not need. All right. You know your family size. You know your income. The bank says you can afford it. It doesn't mean we should go for it. What we go for is our reality. And if I were someone trying to build wealth, if I was someone who want to change the narrative, if I was someone who want to do things that will aid me in early retirement and financial freedom, then buying a home I actually do not need is not something that is on my list. I need a home, definitely. I need to own that home, definitely. I need to get on the property ladder, definitely. But I'm getting on it for the right reasons, and I'm getting on it considering my personal affordability. If you go on my channel, I talk about the gap in the industry. I'm talking about the finance world. There is a gap in every industry. So on the property side, there is a gap. Investment side, there is a gap. There is a gap in everything that actually a state or a country does not have a regulatory measure for. And that gap is you. The rules are there. The bank checks your behavior, your financial behavior, in order to give you some product. They check that before they confirm that, yes, we believe you can afford this. But is that your reality? Does the bank know you have 3 kids dependent on you? You see, little things like that. Does the bank know that you've gone for a Klarna that you're paying on the side? Does the bank know you owe your neighbor maybe £500? They don't. So all of this is not factored in, and that is the gap. And that is also, I've also talked about the FCA gap, the gap that the FCA does not control, and that responsibility is on you and I, because we know our reality, we know our truth. And so what the rich does is they buy houses that they can actually afford, and what do? They obtain flexibility. They don't buy too much that they need. And so they always want to build a portfolio, a liquid asset, one they can always turn around, rather than own a bigger home and yet not actually in need. If you ask me, I will go for a sensible home and build a portfolio. That is not questionable. We don't need to show off when it comes to wealth. The reason is because life must be lived. And personally, I encourage quality life. But if the home is taking about 40 to 50% of our income, then where is the quality life? Because the expense does not end with the home. The expense actually begins with the home. And so the home is one, because why? Is the greatest expense on every budget. Where you lay your head is the greatest expense. And so personally, I just want a place to live. I just want a place I could move up and down. I could step out of, come back in, and I know there's a reliability. That is the kind of home I need. And especially if you have the young ones, you want to have a little bit of a consideration. The reason is because these young ones won't always be young. You and I were once 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now we are 30 something. We are 40 something. We are 50 something. And so there are seasons. You get me? And most especially if you have kids between the ages of 15 upwards, or maybe your last child is actually 8 or 10, don't go in for that big home that you can actually afford. You know yourself, you know you can't afford it, but then you want to make an impact in yourself. You know, you want others to say that, oh yeah, you've done, yeah. Look, listen to me, you've done well. That step tells me you've done well. Congratulations. But we also want to be sensible with the choices. We want to be sensible with the decisions. Once again, it's not a coffee. It is not a little expense. All right? It is a decision on that paper, the mortgage paper. the lease documentation, the rental paper. That is where the decision lies, because that is for years of your life. You commit years of your life. And so we want to ensure that whatever home we're going in for, it is affordable. And if that home is 20, 30 years, we can put in the extra 100, 200 and knock it down to 15 years. Knock it down to 15 years. And within 15 years, we are done. Life must be lived. We want to explore the world. We want to do other things. We want to impact the next generation. We want to be available for those who are in need. We want to be, we just want to be accessible. All right? Quality life. One more thing. Every broker, whether they're charging you or not, makes their income from the job they've done. Trust me. It's either directly from yourself or from the financial institution. I need you to remember this, okay? Brokers do not work for free. If you go to a broker and the broker says, okay, yeah, we can do this, and that's it. I'll do your affordability checks for you, and then I can get you this mortgage, and maybe you pay me just £200. See, that there is a bigger commission somewhere else. I know what I'm telling you. I know, when you know where you're coming from, you know what you're talking about, all right? The sun is coming from this way, so I need to change direction, all right? And so remember, everyone is in for the sale. And so if you think that your condition, your situation has been considered, well, there is a sale, there is a transaction, and that is actually the focus. And so I say to people, do your due diligence as well. Agreement in principle, go and check. Check about five places. The property is expensive. I get it. How about the other side? How about moving to a different area? Take financial decisions without emotions. And as always, remember, it's better to go for a sensible home than a bigger home that takes a chunk out of your income. I'll see you in the next. This is Yard Finance.